These words are compensation for the too low blows. To serve as sticking plasters for your broken bones. To fend off sticks and stones. Now you have our stolen goods and sleeping pills. God gave you all the bluster, but no people skills, and too much time to kill. I'm not here to plead forgiveness for the stupid things I do, but I bring this song to you by way of apology. As the Lord shall be my witness, I know as dreams will come true, and I bring this song to you.
My full name is Allison McKay Baker, and I'm 18 years old, and I've lived in a holler called Dry Fork my entire life. My dad, he worked in the coal mines, and he was in a coal mining accident, and he got killed, and I was around 8-9 months old at the time. So it was just me and my mom after that. My mom was strict, to say the least. She had just anger problems. I guess you could say that she needed to work out. I was raised in a very religious household. And growing up, I was always scared of my mom. Because if I did something, then I would get severely punished for it. A lot of people say they're abused, but I mean, if your mom grabs your arm and squeezes it so tight that you're literally crying and begging her to stop, and you're honest to God afraid that your arm is gonna break, you know, I don't think that's the best example of motherly love. Constantly scared to be around that person. You don't want to have a relationship with them. So I went to middle school, and it was good for the most part. And sometimes people would question as to why I didn't dress girly, as to why I decided to wear your boyish clothes, which I never could understand, because I think it's kind of stupid to put gender roles on clothes. Going into high school, you know, I was just this very shy and awkward girl. I never really talked to people. I had a few friends, but I never extremely talked to people. I wasn't social or anything. And conflicts at the house got worse. During this time, I was homophobic, I guess you could say, because I was raised up if he was like that, then he was just this terrible person. You know, I was raised to believe that gay people were essentially rapists, because that's how I was taught. But I started developing a crush. I mean, that's what it was a crush on this girl. And I would say it was the most terrifying and heartbreaking thing. And I remember just laying on my couch and crying for hours simply because I had a crush on a girl and it meant I wasn't straight. My family will kill me if they find out. Not necessarily my family, but just my mom will literally kill me if she finds out. This can't happen. I refused to believe I couldn't be straight. I had a very hard time accepting it. I remember just going home and crying after school. When you're raised in a church your entire life and they scream that if you're gay you're gonna burn in hell forever, and I started developing depression pretty badly, and by freshman year, You know, I was pretty sad, I guess you could say. I was depressed as it was, and then when I found out that I liked girls, and I was too scared to talk to anyone, so I just kept it a secret. I wouldn't talk to anyone about it. I was too scared of how they would react. I knew I wasn't gay because, you know, I liked guys and girls, so I thought I was bisexual. But then I just read and I was like, I'm pansexual, which is essentially where you like any gender. Like, it doesn't matter what. I don't really care about gender, I just care about the person. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to at that time. I just would go home and stay in my room. Me and my mom, you know, same relationship. We never really talked, we only fought. I was proud by this point. I was proud to say I was pansexual. I wasn't ashamed of it anymore, but I decided that if like something amazing didn't happen, then I was probably just gonna end my life that winter, because I was so tired of everything. I found out I had gender dysphoria, which is essentially when you're in a body that you don't feel like you belong in. This made me realize I was transgender. Eventually I'm going to transition from female to male, but basically I'm a guy, but I'm in a female body. Like, it's very difficult to describe it, I think. I should have been born as a guy, not a chick. And I mean, it is hard to process when you feel like you aren't in the wrong body. Like, it really fucks with you. It really bummed me out. I didn't want to be transgender because gender dysphoria, it fucks with your head. This was still in fall of junior year. I'd become very close friends with this one girl. She told me that she had a friend that had like a crush on me. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I met this person and I thought that they were pretty cute. They looked at me and they said, I like your face. And I just looked at them back and I went, I like your face too. That was the first conversation we had ever had. And we just kept talking and I asked them out. And so we hooked up. Her family that she lived with was very homophobic. So we knew we had to keep it on the down low. And it was a very scary time because I was extremely happy that I was in a relationship with someone that I think is amazing. But at the same time, I was still very suicidal at that point. And I was just thinking, you know, either two things are gonna happen. Either one, I'm gonna end my life at the end of the year and then completely destroy and scar this human being for the rest of their life. Or two, maybe something amazing will happen and they'll change me and blah, 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 blah. It'll be a happy story. And so we kept dating and I'd never really opened up to anyone before this point, but they got me to open up. My depression started to decline and I gradually found myself getting happier. My girlfriend's guardian read messages between me and my girlfriend on my girlfriend's phone. She had snatched it out of her hands and was able to see that me and her were still in a relationship. And they seen that I was transgender. And they took those messages to my my mother at work, my mom found out that I was pansexual in a relationship with a girl and that I was transgender. From that, her reading text messages, private text messages between me and my girlfriend. And I remember being at band practice after school, and my mom texted me and was just, "You're riding home with me tonight." And I just remember sitting down and crying. To this day, I don't know if I'll ever really feel that fear that I did when that happened. And I remember walking out and getting in the car with my mom and her turning to me and just being like, I've heard you've been lesbianing with so-and-so. And it's a really funny thing now that she would word it like that. But at that time, I just remember not knowing what to say. No one ever tells you how to react to things like that. She just kept screaming and screaming and screaming. I remember her saying that she called me a child molester and a rapist simply because I'm transgender and simply because I'm in a relationship with a girl. I remember telling my mom I didn't choose to be gay. I looked at her and I said, "I've nearly killed myself because I'm gay. If I could choose not to be gay and trans, I would." And her just to look at me and laugh after me telling her that. After that happens, you kind of lose all want. My mom basically was just screaming the entire time. And I remember just being so fucking scared. So I got some clothes together and I was ready to leave, but she looked at me and she was like, basically, I was kicked out. I was kicked out of my home for being transgender and for being pansexual. And this was on my birthday, my 18th birthday. The next day, I went to school and I was able to talk to my girlfriend then. She said that her guardian was going to press charges against me on the account of rape. I was going to be tried of rape simply because I'm in a relationship with someone who has the same type of body as me. I would say that that's one of the lowest points I had ever reached in my life. The only thing that I could hold on to at that point was my significant other. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I switched between friends' houses for a while, but I realized I didn't have a solid place to go. So I did have to move back in with my mother. We constantly fought over it for a little while, but eventually she told me that I wasn't actually gay or trans, that it was just a phase I was going through. Luckily, the charges were never put against me. I'm not the monster that so many people view me to be, people like me to be. We're not monsters. We're literally just human beings trying to make it in the world that hates us so much. We just want to be ourselves and to just live our lives. So I'm not the monster that so many people believe me to be. I'm a guy trying to live my life. I have reasons to live, and I'm not scared to live now. And I'm gonna go to college. Me and some friends, we're gonna get a house, and that's our home. And I'm not scared to be trans anymore. I'm not scared or ashamed of it. I'm proud that I am. I was born in Wise County, Virginia on August 21st, 1997. I'm 18 years of age, getting ready to turn 19. And my name is Oliver, and my full name is Oliver Michael McKay Baker. And that's my name from this point on.
The day is getting on. The market traders pack away.